Hey man, happy Thursday on a Wednesday. So, from blue with white in it to blue with white in it. From one beautiful scene to another beautiful scene. Of course, I'm talking about the North Yorkshire Sea, and not me. That's a different kind of beauty, or horror, really. This time I decided to venture up north from where I live to the seaside town of Scarborough in North Yorkshire. We were talking about pictures, you know, and picture frames and framing pictures, and that being a metaphor as well as a physical thing. Being here is a picture. I mean, both from the physical sense, it makes a pretty picture, but also metaphorically, because Scarborough is the frame in which a lot of my childhood was formed. It's where I spent a lot of my formative years vacationing, holidaying, as we say in the UK. It's changed, but it's still the same, somehow. It's had renovations and developments over the years, but many of its sort of different buildings and architecture seems to have stayed the same. This has been a place that's always stood the test of time and that seems to resist time and change. Things have changed, obviously, things have popped up, but I still look at this place and it still strikes me as the place I holidayed 20 years ago with my family. It's still the place that I bring people when they visit me in the UK, because it means a lot to me and it shows a lot of what the UK is about and has a lot of history, both from a maritime tradition, obviously the sea where a lot of the ships went out, and also from the industry of tourism. This is where a lot of people, I should say, came, because, you know, obviously going abroad was the thing that only the really rich and powerful could afford many years ago, so people flocked to places like this. The beaches were absolutely packed with people. Under normal circumstances, this beach would be packed, except a lot of the kids have gone back to school now, COVID restrictions are still in place. A lot of the places on the seafront, like the arcades where you can go and play the fruit machines and things, they're all closed because they haven't been allowed to reopen yet. And as you can see, the tide is pretty much coming in. It should be way out in the distance, but at the moment it's not. So yeah, it's just, pictures are a great thing. I've taken some stuff as well while I've been here. I've been filming bits of ambient for my B-roll stuff for any videos I'm going to make in the future, and I've just found myself staring into space and really enjoying it. I've had what you might call a really tumultuous couple of weeks, and just to visit places like Crossgates and Leeds or this place, take the time out to really appreciate what's around me and just calm down and detach from all the stress. I'm going to go back to it tomorrow, but I mean, I'm going back today, but I'm back to the office tomorrow. But the point is that this is probably the only thing that's keeping my sanity right now, and how could anyone be stressed surrounded like this? I'm going to try and take a bit of footage, or at least some still pictures, of what I mean about Scarborough resisting change and being old and new at the same time. And there are buildings that really reflect that. It's side by side. There's an old building over there with a new part of the building attached to it. The old building is falling apart, it's derelict, but the new part looks stark contrast to the old. That's just Scarborough in a nutshell. That's just me getting older but still being really enthusiastic about nostalgic things and Count Duckula and Transformers, and really liking train travel, which stems from my childhood as well. Scarborough certainly has kindled my love for travelling as well, because while it is only an hour and a half down by rail and then a bus, growing up we didn't have a lot of money, and therefore we went on a vacation maybe once a year. So we'd come to Scarborough because it's always been in our family to come to Scarborough, so we spend a week here vacationing, doing all the things that families do. Beach time, walking around parks, a lot of time in amusements, blowing my parents' money. And it's that, the anticipation of riding on the train, the beginning of a journey, that really got me to love trains as a kid. And even the train home is a sad time because you're going home, but that in itself experience would always get a late train home. It'd be dark, it'd be really, the ambience would be fantastic, sat on the train watching everything that was by in the window. I really owe Scarborough in North Yorkshire a lot in my life. I owe it a great deal of my enthusiasm, my time. It's given me so much of my interests, experiences. I've had experiences here with family that I've in the past, but more recently I've stayed here with my friend Connor back in 2014. Nick came here a couple of years ago. Corolla T's been here as well. We've been around, and they've all been unique experiences that I'm never going to repeat, obviously, but they're going to stick in my mind. There's nothing about this place I hate. I just like it. I'm never usually overly positive about stuff because I'm very much a glass half empty kind of guy, but just looking at it now, it takes my breath away every time I look around. And this video is likely to go over 4 minutes actually, because I know I'm waffling, but it's just what this place does to me. It just makes my mind wander, and I'm at ease here. And just for anybody wondering, yes, the weather is beautiful today, blue sky with the occasional white fluffy cloud. But what would this place be like in grey, miserable weather, as the UK is known for? Well, this place is also known for its miserable weather. It has a different kind of atmosphere. Still a seaside town, but obviously it's raining, it's throwing it down, you're not on the beach, you're all crowding around in the shops and the arcades, and even the clouds above and the dreary atmosphere. It's not oppressive, it's still fun, and it still gives the impression of something steeped in tradition, and you just love every minute of it. The rain here was so bad one year that the roads on the seafront that wind all the way around were ripped up. The actual concrete was ripped up by the force of the rain. And then of course there were businesses as well, like some of the arcades mentioned earlier, where there were actually roofs fell in, and we were here at the time, and I remember running for cover as this felt like it could strip paint or even the flesh from your bones. I'd been listening to Warhammer again on the train, so that's where that image came from. So enjoy that. The different seasons of Scarborough give me different emotions and convey different messages and pictures, as it will. So it was a frame that I filled with my own experiences, what it's allowed me to do, and every time I say this, but this time I mean it, I'm having a great day, I'm having a calm one. I hope you do too. I'll see you on Monday.